Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Susan Kramer. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Woodbury, Minnesota, which is almost in Wisconsin. We're on the east side of the Twin Cities. Okay, let me find myself on my computer. There we go. Those are all the places I am, and I realize I don't have my ordering link on here. But it's northstarstamper.stampinup.net, and there are links in most of those places if you are interested in shopping for Stampin' Up! Products with me, and it's very much appreciated, so thank you for joining me. Okay, while I wait for more people to join, I see there's somebody. Say hello. I'd love to know you're here. This is the June product of the month. Sadly, it is sold out in English in North America. I think it's North America. I think Canada and the US combine into one, which is why we actually have this available in French, thanks to Quebec. So I imagine that if you want or did get this set, you were interested in these cute little critters. Maybe the heart and the greenery, the hat is fun, fun little accent, and I love this background die or stamp. I can't imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you probably already have happy birthday, thank you for all you do, or some sort of thank you stamp. Hi friends, sending love, just a little note. So if you did not get this in English during June, the French is still available, and I checked with Stampin' Up! Today, and I believe we can order the French set if you missed the English set, and you probably already have those sentiments in English in another stamp set anyway. So you can still get the little critters if you order the product of the month with or purchase the product of the month with a qualifying order, as long as it's available. So that's my little spiel about product of the month. They're so fun. I haven't used it nearly enough, but maybe next I will use it. So thank you for joining me, Mom and Dad. Thank you. Let me know if your iPad is working. I don't know if was that an iPad or an Android pad? Anyway, they'd been watching on my mom's phone, and when I visited them last week, I tried to help her get Facebook going on her pad. Anyway, we are working with the Fun for Fall, a little bit of glare there, bundle. This is going to be available July 1st for everyone. It's part of the July online exclusive products. And in case you hadn't noticed, on the even months, so February, April, June, etc., the even months, they update the last chance category, which used to be the clearance rack. And on the odd months, January, March, May, July, I have to think. Don't normally skip months. So the odd months, we get online exclusive. So there's always something new and something different happening on my website. So again, July 1st, a whole bunch of products will be available, including this. And if you are interested in Halloween specific, this is more fall. I believe that the only Halloween products we're going to have are going to be in the July online exclusives. I believe there are no more Halloween products in the fall or September through December catalog. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I forgot to verify that with Stampin' Up!, but I thought I heard that somewhere. So, let's get busy. So if you're a demonstrator and you look at this product online, and I'll probably share a picture of it, they took these corn stalks and put this is one die that cuts out 8 ears of corn, and they put those corn cobs of corn on the top of the stalk. And when I saw that, I just shook my head, and they didn't take 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, 30 seconds to learn how a corn stalk really grows. And that just drives me crazy. So I decided I had to do it myself. So I put this out on my Facebook page today, and I guess I wasn't clear as to what I was going for here. I was trying to decide which of these dies makes a better tassel for the top of my cornstalk. So that's what I was looking for. Somebody thought I was trying to make it into a flower. No, there's a flower here that I could have used. But so maybe this one made it look like a flower because I had flower there. So I was looking for trying to decide which die to use for a tassel. Somebody, I think the only person actually suggested this. Somebody said D, but she didn't specify which of the two she liked better. So I found these dies, and so we're going to do this one today. We're going to create tassels for the top of our corn stalks, and we're going to make a realistic corn stalk. And I think I need to share with Stampin' Up! That I had to do that. So I like real things to be realistic. So I've been having fun playing with this afternoon. Here is a fun card, mostly with the stamps. I did stamp and die cut the banner there. This piece of designer series paper back here is Golden Glow in color, and it is part of the Moonlit Flora designer series paper. So this pack of paper is where I found this piece. So I was just looking for something gold, fall looking, to go with my cute little scarecrow there. And that scarecrow, I used ink from my ink pad and a blender, a water painter to color him. So just kind of just quick and easy. And I tried to give him a plaid shirt, and it was not too hard. It took me a few minutes. And I really like the twine for the fall rustic look of him. So the next one I have, similar in design, he was colored with watercolor pencils while I watched Jeopardy with Tony this afternoon. And then I love the little leaf stamp and the hoping your day is wonderful. I thought that was kind of cute pun. I used two-tone crumb cake cardstock for my second layer just to add some interest, and I stamped on my envelope. Oh, this guy doesn't have an envelope yet, but so that one also is mostly stamps, and I use the rounded rectangle. It's the newer rectangle punch, and I double punched it to make it small enough to fit my sentiment. So there's a couple samples. The next one we're going to finish together. Oh, I forgot to share. Let me get... Where did I put him? Oh, I hit him a little bit. Somebody else pointed this out. So with our stamp sets, I was creating my own stamp map, as we were calling them. I would ink my stamp and then stamp it on here and then add all my details. Mr. Scarecrow is big, and you do need the E-block, by the way. These two sentiments fit inside the banner. Someone had pointed out, and let's see if you can see this clearly. They took a Sharpie pen, and I happened to use a blue one. I don't know where it went. And they outlined their stamps so they knew where the stamp went back on the acetate. It is kind of cumbersome because of the shapes aren't real obvious. Like I couldn't exactly tell where the crows went, but they are doing something new with our stamps, and I think this will work. This design here is how they are on your acetate. So anything that's, so this is a July online exclusive. I imagine anything later than that, even if you purchase it now, if it came out in January, this probably won't be true. But check it out and see if you don't need to create your own stamp map, because this is our stamp map now for the brand new stamps. So I was kind of excited to learn about that. I didn't notice it till another demonstrator pointed it out in one of her videos. But I probably still will create this myself. Maybe play around with the stamps, and so that I know that these two sentiments fit inside the banner, and just how things work together. So, and then I did circle the ones that have the matching dies and did that on the back. You can see I just roughly colored those, just quick and easy. Maybe we'll do that tonight, and just how they work with the dies. All right, I think I need some water already. Who is here? Hi, Alma. Thanks for joining. She's just getting on. I'm just talking about products. So, I love fall, in case you didn't know that. And so I had to get this, and I don't normally buy cute sets, but this one has been fun to play with. So those first two cards were mostly with the stamps. The only die I used was the banner. This one didn't use any of the dies at all. So I wanted to point out that you don't have to use the dies. The full card we're going to make together tonight, I'm going to use lots and lots and lots of dies. So this one I just used the flower. And I used a sponge dauber to color in my flowers because a lot of people don't like to color. And I tore some two-tone cardstock down there. That idea came from, I had a piece of white cardstock that was torn. I'm like, that's kind of an interesting element to a card. So that's what I did. And we're going to stamp this piece for the inside. Let's see if I can find, excuse my reach. I like to use garden green for my flowers. So I just stamped like that. And then I used, oh, I already have it over here. Highland Heather. I want a piece of scrap. Here's the back of a Post-it note. See, this might already have enough ink on it. It does. So I just colored it in just like that. Did I do my envelope? I did not. We'll do my envelope real quick. I'm going to mask this a little bit. I don't want to get my paper dirty. So a shorter flower there. And we'll just pick up a little extra ink. Make sure it's not too dark. If you don't like to color, use your sponge daubers just to add a little bit of color to your stamped images or on a background or as just an element on your project. All right, so the other thing I thought we could add, I'll talk about it while I add some adhesive here. I thought it would be really cute if we added some rhinestones to the middle of the flowers. But I thought it would be fun to color them with a alcohol marker. So we're going to use the small ones here. How many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I should have done some of these earlier. I will share with you that my other end is a bit not very, you can't be real precise with it. I don't know if I was rough with it. Look, it still works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see a little bit of the yellow on there. So time to replace my Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blends. So I'm going to let those dry for just a second. That's probably long enough. I'm sure this is still wet down here. And we're just going to pop those into the middle. Oh, how cute. I have to share with you, people are starting to return to me cards I've given them. My sister-in-law has saved all of the Christmas cards we've sent them. I didn't count to see how many years back it goes. It was at least 10. They've been married for 26 years, so there could be 26 in that bag she gave me. I thought it would be, we do send a Christmas newsletter with our cards, so, and I did not save all of those, so I was happy to get those back, because I'll have Christmas newsletters from all those years. But I'm not sure about the cards. And then my son was cleaning up his things, and he's like, Mom, here are the cards you've given me over the years. Graduation cards and birthday cards. And, oh, anyway. So, anyway. So there's one, again, with just the stamps. All right, let's move on. Move on. So, holler if you have any questions. Oh, I forgot to share with you. This one here, I used, get my tool here. I kind of modeled my card after this sketch. They have it a tag, but something behind your main focal point. There's a square because my my card is, I don't know. I just decided to go with a taller rectangle instead of the square like that. And then I put the bow here with the twine, just like they did there. So that's one way to use a sketch. All right, let's move on. I have all kinds of things die cut. And again, we're going to use a piece of Designer Series paper. I have to tell you what pack this is from. No, this is from the In Color painted patterns. So you can get these patterns in all of the color families. This happens to be the newest In Colors. So if you like the brights or the subtles, you could get these same patterns in those colors. But there's a detailed stripe and then kind of a water brush, watercolor stripe on the back side of that. There's bigger dots and then tiny little dots on this as well. And then the postage dies are still current. So sometimes when I die cut, and I don't know how close I can get to the camera here, you can see that the edge of the die left a little ridge. And I don't really like that. So I just take my bone folder and even that out. You can do the other side too. It doesn't get it all out, but it is much better. I don't even remember. I think it was this corner. Just to smooth that out. So I have two here in case I make a mistake, or I could use this one on the inside. So the other thing is when you have a detailed die, and the release holes will sometimes leave an imprint on your die cut piece too. So I don't know which we'll use for the inside of that. And I have an envelope we can stamp on that too. So we're going to create a scene with one of our little scarecrows. We're going to do this. So for now, look at all these goodies I have to play with. I was busy die cutting this afternoon. So I die cut the fence just in some of our wood grain. I thought that was kind of fun. I might want to make those darker. So I guess my paper is going to become a mess. And here's some corn. These were all die cut with basic beige. So we're going to create the tassel for our corn stalks out of these. I was playing around adding some colors to my corn stalks. My friend Lori, who lives in Wisconsin, so I'm sure she sees a lot of corn, as do I here in Minnesota. Right, Alma? Lots of corn. She talked about the stalks not being green like they show on the website. I'll have to share that picture with you. So Stampin' Up! Had these die cut in, I think they were garden green. And then they had Daffodil Delight corn cobs coming out of the top. I'm like, that is not realistic. We're going for realistic. So I have these, I used a blending brush with Golden Glow for my corn instead of Daffodil Delight. So Lori was talking about how at the end of the summer, the stalks actually turn brown because they're kind of dried out. But then she commented again later that in the summer, yes, they are all green. So I don't know. We're just going to play around and see what we think. So I have a couple different scarecrows for us to play with. They're both on crumb cake. This one I stamped in Early Espresso. My Early Espresso is very, very dark. I don't know why. It almost looks black. This one I stamped in Pecan Pie. I think I might use him just for something different instead of the, I don't know, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll have to make two cards, right? So I thought we would put him here and put some corn stalks in front of him, like he's trying to fend off the crows, right? And then we'll color a fence and put that here, and a sentiment. So the sentiments in here are, this is something to crow about. Happy fall, y'all. Hey there. I think that's cute with the hay bale. I'll have to do a card like that. And there's a die cut for this, so I thought it would be fun to stack a whole bunch of hay bales and then use hay there. Just a fun, cute card. So thankful for you. Hoping your day is wonderful, and congratulations. So, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll do the... I already put it away. I like to set out my thankful for you. No, this one's going to be more involved. So I thought maybe we would just stamp this up in the corner and let the dies do the work. So I personally don't think I have to color the scarecrow. He's kind of cute just like that. And we're going to stagger those and then put this down here. So how's that? And then just because I think it's funny, we're going to pretend that Mr. Scarecrow's not doing a very good job, and we'll add a crow. I have a couple of them. These I just die cut in Smoky Slate, and I actually used Secret Sea to stamp them. Our new hybrid black ink pad does stain our stamps, which you can see I did that a couple of these are stained already, which they stamp perfectly fine, but I prefer to not have stained stamps. And of course the reds do stain. Like, actually my early espresso stains in red. There must be some red ink in there too. Okay, couple things about this. These lines, I thought they were just embossed, but they're not. These are, can you see that? These are actually cut, like they're actually pillars or pieces of wood. And so I would not use green glue on this because green glue or liquid glue will seep through there, but I think a glue dot will work fine for this. So I thought we'd put this off here. Let's color some more corn stalks. I think maybe we will just, I think maybe we will just go green. So I have some blending brushes. I like the small ones. I don't know if you saw this came along for the ride. I can't tell you how many times I have found a photopolymer stamp on the back of an ink pad. So we're going to be careful with that one. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put that on block right now before. You know what? Let's even go one step further and use it. Hoping your day is wonderful. So cute. Look how nicely that stamps. I love stamping. That's my favorite part. Okay, let's add some ink to this. And I like to not get my fingers as dirty as I might. So I'm just adding some green. Yes, I could die cut in green, but I don't know. I think I like it with a little bit more interesting. So that was garden green. I'm going to add some mossy meadow. Notice I didn't color clean my brush, so I might have a little bit of garden green on my ink pad, but that's all right. So isn't that a little more interesting than just die cutting that in green? And I could have done soft seafoam, would have been a good option too. That's getting kind of dark, but that's all right. All right, let's color some of these. Put these away. Sorry, I've got kind of a mess here. Let's clean up just a little bit. So I do want to add some brown to my fence. I like that it's wood grain, but I wish it were a little darker. Again, use this and clean it off. It might have green on it. And let's see, make sure comments are appearing again, so that's good. Okay, just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. So, I could have used this as a mask. Oh, that would have been interesting, wouldn't it? See how it leaves when I added the ink to it, it was like a mask. So I could have added the outline of a fence just somewhere else on my project. I always think of that after I've done it on my scrap paper. Okay, so there's our fence. There are some fun corn stalks. Now these corn stalks and my corn cobs have adhesive sheets on it. In putting my samples together, I made such a mess. I'm like, use adhesive sheets. This needs to be darker. If they're going to be all in the same field, they're going to be about the same color. I kind of like the brown on this one, though. Let's add some more brown to this one. He's getting kind of dark. So lots of die cuts. Let's clean my fingers a little bit. All right. So we've got that. And here I just turn they're adhesive on the back of these, so I know which side is which. Again, I used basic beige. That was Golden Glow. Excuse my reach here. I'm going to grab some Daffodil Delight. My brush probably still has Golden Glow on it. I could use Daffodil Delight cardstock, which they did in this sample. I've talked about that sample so much, I'm going to have to post it for you. I keep talking about I don't want you to have to wait till July, and then you'll forget about it. So just add some color. Just make it kind of interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it called salt and peppercorn when they're black, yellow and white kernels? That's some of my favorite corn. There. I know there are no husks around them, and corn cobs are actually, you don't see the yellow, but this will be a step better. Okay, now for the tassel that we're going to add to this die. So this was the die I actually used. We're going to make it yellow because I believe the tassels are yellow and then they turn brown. So I thought I could get a few out of these. And again, it has adhesive on the back. Let's do some Golden Glow. That's kind of a cross between a brown and yellow. There we go. That looks better. And then we're just going to snip these apart and add them to our corn stalks. Okay, let's get our card back here. So I kind of like this piece. Oh, that's going to tie in with that Golden Glow really well. I haven't decided if I need to color Mr. Scarecrow. If you feel like it, leave me a comment. I know sometimes if you're on a phone, it's hard to leave a comment. But if you want to input, let me know if I should add some color to the Scarecrow. So there's the finer stripes and there's the looser watercolor stripes. I like the other side. I like this side better. So for this, because the background here is white and I am using Very Vanilla. I'm just going to put this off to the side. And then this is going to go centered. And I kind of like this. Just I'm going to leave him for a minute. I can always add color later. And he's kind of cute going off the edge of that rectangle. Let's cover up that. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and adhere him. Oh, let's start with this. All right, Alma commented, she said, cute set, very versatile. Lots of different scenes can be done. Alma, I thought the exact same thing, and that's why I bought it. Sometimes you're kind of limited with what you could do, and that's exactly why I showed you the samples I did, that you can use just parts and pieces. You don't always have to use the Scarecrow. You don't always have to use anything, right? And the stamps and dies coordinate really well. So we're going to have him going off the edge just to make add some interest. And then we're going to add these so I can see that my adhesive backing didn't go to all the way to the edge, and now I can easily throw that away. And I'm just going to set this down. I'm not going to burnish it because I want to tuck the tassels in the back. Let's do that right away. So I'm going to take some scissors and just snip. And then, oh, sorry, was I in camera? My video will catch up. Yep. Okay. Then take off the liner to expose the adhesive to the back. And we're just going to set that behind it. Look at that. It's so cute. Okay. Let's do another one. So I can get quite a few tassels from this piece. And oh, sorry, this is from the, where'd it go? This is this one, the beautiful motifs. So this one here is what I'm using. I just used this one. I only used 3 of the leaves. I'm using more than 3, so like 5 or 7 or something. Of course, now that I'm thinking about it, I had trouble getting that backing off, so I'm going to tuck this. I actually have 2. Take your picks. Where'd that other one go? I don't know where it went. Must be in. Let's switch this around. Set this on here, and then use my take your pick to lift this up and tuck that underneath. Cute. All right, and this one's actually up already for me. So I had to do a little bit of surgery here. Oh. Just trim it how you want it to be. You probably have some dies you could use for the tassel. I think any one of them would have worked fine. I just thought it was funny and asked for help. And maybe it didn't bother you that it wasn't realistic. Okay, there's that, but I think we need another one. Maybe the lighter one, because our fence is going to be so dark. That's the fence we're going to use. Yeah, we'll just do these. We'll just set them off. Take the liner off. Oh, look at that. I would not want to put adhesive on the back of that. We'll just put this up a little higher, and I'm only going to burnish or set down the bottom. And then we're going to add some tassels to the top. Ooh. This one. Oh, come on, 2. This will go more quickly. Alma says, bicolor sweet corn. Oh, okay. Mom and Dad, didn't we always call it salt and pepper? Oh, she says one variety is peaches and cream. Huh. So I wouldn't be surprised if salt and pepper is another variety. So Mom and Dad, am I remembering correctly? Mom and Dad say no color to scarecrow. That makes it easy for me. Alma, what do you think? There's 2. Oh, this is so much cuter than what they had. I will have to send this. You know what? When I'll post this on Facebook, and I'll tag Stampin' Up on it, and tell them, here's what a corn stalk looks like. Right? Oh, we have to add our corn too. We're not done yet. Sorry, I'm getting. All right, we're just going to add these into the stalk. Like that. You know what? I will show you what I've been doing. I have this little box. It's just, I think it was going to be like for a gift or something, but it was in my stash for so long. So it's just a piece of cardstock that I scored around the 4 edges and cut the corners. It's going to hold my garbage. I'm going to try to lift this up a little bit. So don't burnish it yet. Get your corn cobs in there. And I think it's okay if they're not all the same color on the same stalk. We're going to pretend that it's a different variety, right? All right. We'll give it at least 1 cob to each. At least 1 cob to each stalk. Oh, that one came off immediately. This one here, there. Oh my gosh. I suppose you could make a corn pun, right? I always think about making, I should not have burnished this so much. We have lots of stamps that say sweet, like you are sweet as pie or whatever. It'd be fun to make a card. There's so many, fruit and whatever that you could add to that. Can you think? I could think of some corny puns to add to a card with corn stalks. So don't burnish it down until you get your corn cobs in there. Maybe a couple more just because I have them. So I'm just peeling off the release paper, the liner. You got kind of bent. Like I said, I know these would be covered in green, the husk. We had quite the conversation on my Facebook page. Oh, isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay, add some glue dots to this. So there's the back of the wood grain. I'm so happy we still have this wood grain designer series paper. So that glue dot is too wide, so I just folded it over. And I'm going to use my finger to put it on there, like that. So I'm going to take a glue dot and just push it with my thumb, and it kind of rolls into a little tube, a tube of glue. And we'll put one on the other end. Maybe one more in the middle. Push it with my thumb. That one didn't roll. You can easily roll it. It's just glue. Put that on this end. And if it goes off the end, it's easy to manipulate the glue. Just use your finger to brush it on to where it is, or I'll use my take your pick tool. Sorry, my space is getting messy and I don't like that. Okay. And we're going to put this here. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. We need to do some more though. Do we need embellishments? I don't know what I have. We need to do something on the inside. I thought it would be cute to use this on the inside too. And maybe another corn stalk. Yeah, why not? I have it. Do you mind watching me do this again? If you're watching the replay, obviously you can fast forward to see what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, I'm just going to gently touch the middle because I want to put... I put my scissors away. So this was a little putsy for what I normally do, but just so cute. There's one, there's two. Can I squeak 3 out of here? We'll go like this. We'll cut this one apart. That's going to be tucked behind, so I can just cut that off. Ah, close enough. Close enough. So this one that is kind of, that's really funny looking, is the one we'll put the crow on. Adhesive sheets, adhesive sheets, adhesive sheets are your friend. I don't know what I would do without them. Some people put their liquid glue into a bottle that has a smaller nozzle, but even then I think that would be a lot. Let's add some corn on here too. So this is one step closer to realistic. Not fully realistic, but that's okay. Tuck that back there. Alma says, there's enough going on, but maybe just some color on the scarecrow face. All right, we'll go back in a minute, Alma. Thank you for your comments, everybody, by the way. They help with the algorithm so that Stampin' Up, or Meta thinks this is a video to watch, and then they will suggest it to other people. My whole goal of my business is to share. I love stamping, and I want to share it with you, so the more I share, the better. All right, this guy does not have adhesive on the back, so we're going to have to grab a glue dot. All right, I've got so much stuff on my table, I can't see my glue dots that are probably right in front of me. So I have some glue dots from a kit. I use the bigger ones. Did you see that? Sometimes in a kit we'll get small glue dots, and sometimes in a kit we'll get big glue dots. It all depends what they're... Oh wait, I wanted the big ones. He is bigger. Depends what we're using them on. So these are small enough. Put that on there. Oh, maybe I should give the scarecrow rosy cheeks. So this one is a little funny looking tassel, so that's where we're going to put him. Maybe we need just a touch. I have some color here. Excuse my reach. We're going to put some Timid Tiger on his beak. And I'm going to use a water painter. Just a little bit. Oh, that one's not small. Hold on, let me get a smaller brush. This is a small brush. Just a little, because I think it'll be fun. Oh, it's kind of dark. That's all right. All right. Let's get this on the inside. Hoping your day is wonderful, and then this is here, and then if I send it for birthday, I would add happy birthday on the inside. Sorry, this video's a little longer, but I had so many samples, and I'll bring them all back in case you missed them at the beginning. Oh, look at that, so cute. Oh, you know what it needs? It needs this little bit of grass. So it's kind of funny that when you stamp the scarecrow, you get whatever color, and chances are you're going to stamp him in a dark color, black, brown, whatever. But I'm not going to stamp the grass in brown, so it's a little funny, but we're going to stamp this. This is a little baby stamp. I have to be careful I don't lose him. So we're just going to stamp some grass there. That looks better. Maybe here too. Let's see if I can lift up. See, I'm going to lift up my fence and sneak some grass back there. Good enough. I might need another glue dot behind there now since I moved him. All right, there we go. We need another glue dot. Where did they go? Let's just use one of these. So I picked up a glue dot. I want it to stick to my, take your pick tool. I don't know if you can see it's on the end of it there. And I'm just going to place it behind like that. Much better. Okay. All right. We could put a scarecrow. I do have another one cut out already on here. No, I like that white space. Let's add, I have blueberry bubble bath that I used on those flowers. We're going to give him pink cheeks. How's that? Rosy cheeks. Yep, Alma, I was thinking the same thing. So just a little bit. We're going to practice, practice, practice. Oh, that's nice and pale. I'm going to rotate my brush in the ink and make it very pointy. It'll dry a little lighter too, I think. How's that? Maybe most of his patches. He's got a patch here. There's a patch on this knee and a patch on his hat. Maybe the band. I think I'll color the band on his hat. Maybe orange. This is Timid Tiger. We'll close this before I get ink everywhere, right? All right, almost done. Then I'll pull back all those. So again, I'm going to rotate this to keep my point nice and straight. I'm going to turn them upside down. I find it easier to... So I don't have to color the whole thing in like a coloring book, just the idea of orange on that hat. All right, let me clean up and pull all our cards out. Oh, I didn't do the envelope. That's all right. That's all right. Get that all out of the way. Isn't that cute? A lot of die cutting, but you know, I had that done beforehand. Oh my gosh, how fun. And then there's one just colored with ink and a water painter. This one was done in colored pencils, and then I used a blending pen to kind of melt the colors, and then one with just the flower. Let me pull in the stamp set to remind you what it looks like. I am going to create one that has bales of hay up the side and kind of stagger them. I thought I would stamp some and then die cut some and put them in, and then it'll say hey there. Oh, that'll be fun to create. So there we are, fun for fall. It'll be available July 1st. Unless, of course, you want to join my team, and you could actually get this right away in your starter kit if you become a demonstrator, if you don't want to wait for July 1st. So, and then you can get a discount on every time you order. So, there we go. I'm glad you like it. That was very fun to create with. I'll have to come up with some more ideas. Maybe just the crows in black on the fence for Halloween. That's all I can think of right now. If I sat and looked at it long enough, I might come up with some more. So, but thank you for staying with me. I know this was much longer than I normally am on Monday night, but I had lots to share. So thank you for joining me. Happy stamping. And I always take requests if you want to see something special next week. Take care. Bye for now.